Good afternoon. You can hear my dogs in the background. Today's been the day. I want to come on here because you see these people on Instagram or TikTok or whatnot and saying that it's okay. Well, first, let me clear something. I do not follow the light path. I do not follow the Christian path. I am a witch and I follow Lilith. Okay, so what does that mean when I say I follow Lilith? Lilith was Adam's equal. In Genesis, okay, in Genesis, at first, it states that the Yah made man and woman into his own image, right? So, when Lilith refused to submit, now this doesn't mean that she wasn't a submissive. She just refused to submit to the wrong man. She stood up. She stood up for what she strongly believed. She flat out said, I am created by the same clay and stardust you are created from. We are equals. So then after she makes the nest, or what first Adam calls the nest, and she goes, no, a nest is what animals lay in. We are not animals. So he took it upon himself to name something that she created. And she was furious. She was so furious. She was like, that is not fair. It is not fair that you took something from me and named it. I created it, so therefore I should have that right to name it. You have all the trees, all the fruits that lie in it. You have the animals and the birds and the insects and all that. All she wanted was one little thing. One little thing. Now come nightfall. Now this is just one of the stories of many books of Lilith. Come nightfall, she was laying down and she heard an owl. And that owl was warning her. And when she looked up, because she was half asleep, she saw Adam forcing her legs open. The simplest thing she asked. What are you doing? And he replied, Yah told me that we need to multiply. So now she is conflicted, she's hurt, and she's a little pissed. Because before, Yah was supposedly talking to them both. And now he is only talking to Adam. This primordial being, before he was called God, before he was a he, and it was the supreme being, was now only talking to Adam. So, in this process, this woman is far superior and far smarter than Adam gives her any credit for. And she goes, so now Yah is only talking to you. This didn't sit well with her. And it is not to say that she would not have submitted in bed to him. But he did not ask permission to do said thing. And this is what ticked her off the most. Because he felt it was his right and he did not have to ask. And men can get pissed at me and all they want for this. But it wasn't until Lilith fled Eden and saw it for what it was worth, that it was a prison. It was her prison. It was the fact that he went crying to Yah. And she was hurt and disappointed that Yah would side with him. So she left. She left Eden, and that is when she found the morning star. That's when she found the fallen angel. And she knew that he was not human, that he was divine. And she was naked. Now, this is what she has known since her ever existence, was to be naked. And he asked her, little one, why are you not clothed? You are out here for all to take advantage of you. What was so wrong with that? What was so wrong with her wanting to be clothed, to have that freedom to submit to whoever she wanted to and felt like they deserved it, instead of being naked? She thought it was the grandest thing. That she didn't have to go around naked. She found beauty in everything that was dark and named them all. She named everything that was outside of Eden, that was in the dark, that was in the desert, that was untouched, unnamed, the forsaken. See where I'm getting at? We say we were born or created to submit to our husbands. That was a curse that laid upon Adam and Eve. But there was another female before Eve, and she was not the one to submit so easy to him. So, I'm going to say this, and people can get offended, and I really don't care if you follow me or don't follow me. It doesn't matter. I state facts, I state truth. I'm a history buff. I dig deep into the trenches of where nobody else refuses to go to get facts. Because of my upbringing and not getting answers that didn't seem like they were true. So, I'm going to say this. We have, as women, we have a choice who we submit to. Women don't just submit to any man that comes along and gives you flowers and says sweet things and promises you the world and then doesn't fulfill it. Submit to the one that you know that's going to have your back, that is going to protect you, because it is a dynamic. It is the rawest and the most, it has been since the beginning of time, a dynamic. It is an exchange of energy and power. I am willing to submit to you and be the wife that you want me to be, or the girlfriend that you need me to be, or whatever you want, whatever you are to this person. In exchange, this is what I want. I want to feel loved. I want to be protected. I want to feel cherished. I want to be heard. Not just physically heard, but emotionally. And I want emotional stability. I want emotional validations. I want this. For this, I will, if you show me this and you show me you are true to your word, and come what may, and whatever chips may fall on the wayside, and things about, well, because life gets messy, I will have your back. I will have your back. I will walk through the trenches of Tartarus and back to keep you in my life. To keep you in my life. I will gladly hand you the reins and let you take over. But you first have to show me that you are worth that submission. Because what people do not put in is that the submission is a gift. And it's just not given freely. Now, I'm a country girl. I was born in the country. I was born in Texas, and as Texans girls, we freaking have a mouth for a day. And it wasn't this way for me. It took me a long time to really find my voice. But after so many heartbreaks, and so many hurts, and so many disappointments in my life, I had no choice but to become, well, I don't want to say masculine, but to be, because I had a daughter at the time, and it was just me and her. So I was the mother, I was the nurturer, and I was the disciplinary. I was the provider. And as hard as I tried, I tried so hard to do everything, to play a two-person part. Because the person that was supposed to be that dominant for me and that provider, protector, leader, whatever you call it, that they're supposed to be, went off lollygagging around and decided that instead of working on our relationship to make it better, fix the things that needed to be fixed, he thought it easiest to just call it quits and start cheating. So I say this, and I say this with a heavy heart, because I see so many people and women and men who think this is what we are made for. But in this day and age, I believe we're still in Eden. I still strongly believe we're in Eden. We haven't left Eden. This is just a different version of Eden. Because it is still a masculinity, patriarchal, ran place. Now, I'm not rooting, I don't get into politics. I don't even want to watch it on the TV. But let's get honest, because it's hard to submit when you are on your guard. And when you have been taught that is a woman's place, is to submit to her husband. Lilith submitted to two men in her life and loved them both dearly, to the point of watching one drop to Tartarus and meeting Satan, or the devil. And let me get something wrong. There's a difference between the devil and Morning Star, or who you want to call Samael. Because Satan is an adverb for adversary. Something that is opposed to this supreme being. Now, my dominant had me watch a video, and I've been saying the same shit for fucking years. I've been saying the same thing for years. And to hear this guy on YouTube speak of what I have been saying for so long, it was a fucking validation. It was validation. I was like, ugh, get it. say it. Maybe then people will wake up. But Lilith was the first female ever to have been made. She was made from the same stardust and clay. And I might go on here on TikTok, and I might post that phrase in Genesis, because I do have the book on Kindle, and I can copy that part where it states they were made from the same clay and stardust in the divine image, in Yah's image. It wasn't until Yah said, oh, well, you cannot be without a helpmate, you need a helpmate, that he took the rib from Adam and created Eve, which was supposed to be his submissive wife. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Because this is where what I said about the guy in that video on YouTube comes into effect. Because Lilith went back to Eden to share all her knowledge that she has gained from being out of it, and wanted to share it with Adam, who was her brother. But they were more at the time than brothers. At the time, before all this happened and everything was set and everything was good between Lilith and Adam, they held hands. They held hands when they went to sleep. They held hands when they walked. But when things started getting tricky and it more became predominantly dominant and masculine, is when she had a problem with it. And the secrecy. So, what am I saying? When she came back to Eden, she found a young dangly thing by the sea. Eve. She was very timid, and she was very docile, and she was very submissive. And she talked to Lilith. Now, in each story that I have read, this part stays the same. Most of the story stays the same in both books of Lilith. One says that she fled. Their other texts say that she was kicked out. So what had happened was this, okay? Lilith, in her innocence of excitement and wanting to share her, in the glee of her, with her brother, the news and everything that she has found out, she professed were true. Eve takes her back to Eden. And a lot has changed since then. And this is just within a couple of days. So, you know, there is that factor of Eve looked at her and said, "What are you wearing?" She's like, "I'm wearing a loincloth. I am wearing something that covers me." I do not have, I can choose who I lay with and who I don't lay with. I have that freedom. I am not, I'm not bound to the rules and laws of Eden. Because outside of Eden is a whole new world. And so she is very, forthcoming of her information to Eve, because she sees this woman and she sees that this woman needs guidance, like, really bad. And she's excited because there's another woman and everything, and she can talk to this woman about everything that she has learned, along with Adam, because that sister betrayed her. There was no snake in Eden. Lilith took Eve to the home, which was in a tree, a beautiful tree, where her and Adam used to lay. And Eve was like, "What are you doing? We're not supposed to go in there." And she's like, "Why not?" She's like, "Because God said that this is not to happen. That you cannot, for now and forever, cannot be, you have to be in the open where he could see you," basically. And Lilith is like, "Who is this God you speak of? The only supreme being that I know that has created me and Adam is Yah." She's like, "What has changed, and why has Yah made itself into being this more masculine, supreme being and not an equal? This is not acceptable." So well, that one's cached. So therefore, Lilith takes her into the tree. She showed her, "This is where we lay. Every night we would lay down here and we would hold hands." And she's seen the tears and the pain in Eve's eyes. She's like, "Adam does not even hold my hand. I am to be his helpmate. I am his submissive." This infuriated Lilith a little bit more. Because she just couldn't understand. And she goes, "Here," and she hands her a cloth, and she goes, "Here, cover yourself up. You do not have to be naked around me or anyone else. This is all your choice." So she does so, and all of a sudden she goes and gets Adam. And they come back and they're in the tree, and Adam is infuriated with Lilith. He's like, "What are you doing here?" And she's like, this is my home too. I came back to show you, to tell you that there's a whole new world out there. Whole new world out there. At that time y'all came. And he was furious. And he's like, what are y'all wearing? And Lilith just could not understand why y'all was so mad. Like, this was not the divine being that she knew before. What had changed? And then she realized that when she left, she created this. And she was willing to take, the full, and she even told y'all, she said, do not punish them. It is my fault. And he goes, I banish you, Lilith. See, this is where some of the texts and stories differ from Eden. And at first he was going to, she thought that he was going to let her children and the things and the creatures that she named and her children from us, because she was a mother and she loved her children. She loved Samael. She loved the creatures of the night, of beyond Eden, and so her punishment was she was to live a life of loneliness. At the end result, she would watch her children die every day, and it wasn't just one or two. It was 100 a day. And throughout texts and everything, even, and I hate to say, even in the Bible, it states the devastations that whoever you want to call him have created. But yet, we turned a blind eye at it and say it was all the devil's fault. The devil did not destroy people. Lilith didn't destroy people. Did she curse Adam's kids? Oh, fuck yeah, she did. That was one vengeful mother. And that saying goes, guys, hell has no fury like a woman scorned. This woman was beyond scorned. For her to curse Adam's children. Because she was done wrong. That's not a God I want to follow. That's not even a divine being that I choose not to follow. I would rather, I don't want to say worship, I would rather work with beings that have known loss and know how it feels to lose. Throughout history, there has been devastation. The witch trials, all that, all for the name of some god, some patriarchal god. This female chooses who she submits to. I have one dominant. I do not submit to any other. And some are finding that out now. I have one dominant. And I would go through hell and Tartarus and back for him. And he knows this. But I refuse to submit to his father. Because his father is not my dominant. He's not my dom. I don't have two men to submit to. And I choose not to have two men to submit to. It's that simple. You choose who you want to submit to. Make sure he is well worth that submission. Or if she's well worth it. Because nowadays, it can be both genders. It can be female and male. But make sure that that person, that partner is well worth it. That's all I'm saying. Make sure, and if people get all mad about her, so be it. I don't care. I really don't. I'm 45. I am not here to make friends. I'm not here to pat backs. I'm not here. I'm here to state facts. I'm here to tell the truth. I'm here. It might not be y'all's truth, and that's fine. That's fine. But I do the footwork. I do the studies. I dig deep. This is totally what I am. Stupid glare. But I'm going to get off here because my phone's about to die and I need to go back in, and it's nice and hot and sweaty and I need a shower. So I hope y'all enjoy this little tidbit. Stay blessed. Darkest blessings. Bye.